Hello and welcome to Tae Kwon Do Training. I'll be your host for today's show, Bob Lemire. I have a special guest today, joining me on today's show, Mr. Wayne Grenier. Welcome to the show, Wayne.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Wayne, I'm going to let him tell the story because we can go on for hours, but Wayne is a powerlift champion and holds records in New Hampshire, Hawaii. Had the U.S. record until last month. Somebody beat him, but I think he's training to get it back. I'm going to let Wayne explain a little what he's done in the last few years on his powerlifting experiences. And remember, Wayne, 72 years old.
Correct.
72 years old, young. So, just what have you been up to, Wayne?
Well, training right now for the World Championships. They're going to be in September in Connecticut. It was supposed to be in Quebec, but Canada decided they're not going to have any large gatherings, so it's going to be in Oakville, Connecticut. So I'm training for that right now. Intense training. We train 4 days a week. I've got my own home gym, and my trainer comes to my house at 5 in the morning, and we start right off the bat. And we're training on stamina, legs, form, and it's intense, and then I go to work afterwards, so I think it's terrific.
And you're assistant general manager of
Indian Mountain Golf Club.
Indian Mountain Golf Club.
In Ossipee, New Hampshire.
In Ossipee, New Hampshire. He runs all the tournaments. That's where we've met at the golf tournaments. Sunday night, what do they call it, 9 and Dine?
9 and Dine.
9 and Dines. So you're an avid golfer also?
I need a lot of work.
We all need a lot. Everyone needs a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah. Tiger Woods needs a lot of work. We all do. But anyway, what we're going to do today's show is he's going to show us some technique. I just got a staff, the big stick, that we like to work out with. He's going to use that as, say, the weights. But what he's going to do is show us some of his techniques. And then we're going to talk about the techniques. And then compare them a little to the Tae Kwon Do techniques or any other sport techniques on balance, core strength, concentration, the whole thing when it comes to being a winner. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this. We're all going to pretend these are the heavy weights and show us your winning form on so how many different categories do you
Okay, powerlifting is 3 events. It's squat, bench, and deadlift.
Oh, okay.
So for squat, you go under the squat rack, and you go underneath it, and then you have to go below parallel. So your butt basically needs to go past your knees. So when you go down, you have to go down far enough and come back up in full control of the weight. That's usually more judgment than anything, because some judges might think you've gone low enough, and some judges might think you're not going low enough. So it's all judgment, but it's all they tell you when to go down, you go up whenever, and then you rack it when they tell you. So it's a lot of commands in powerlifting.
Right.
But squat is always the first item. Okay. So you got to make sure you go down far enough and come back up, and then you rack it. So that's squat.
Let me ask you a question on that. All right. So now you have to have the stance. I'm going to let you get back into that. That you have to have a perfect stance.
You do.
All right. So because if you didn't, if you wouldn't have your feet parallel here.
Correct.
So this is what I wanted to do, the correlation between the martial arts. This is what we call a horse riding stance.
Oh.
All right. It's almost the same thing with the shoulder width apart practically, and you've got the knees bent. Just for some balance. We do a lot of practicing just so that we can get some core strength here. Now, my question to you, and I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
Sure.
You tell me when to stop and just keep going. But when you're bending that deep, how are you practicing? That same thing? Do you have braces on your knees?
No. I'm basically, at all the competitions I've been in, and that's been 19 competitions, I don't wear any braces on my knees, my elbows. I don't wear a belt. I don't wear anything.
Wow.
If my joints seem to be weak, we strengthen them.
Right.
And that's what my trainer back in New Hampshire keeps telling me. We'll strengthen those. And so what I'm trying to do on the squat, and I also have a trainer in Hawaii, trying to go more sumo, which is a little wider, which is easier where I'm so tall. And so I'm working on that basically with the squat. So it's
down like that, yeah. Just once? Is that all I have to do is go down?
You
Just
go
once?
down once, and you come back up. You have 3 attempts at the weight you start at. We're always told, start at a lighter weight. You
Right.
want to get your first attempt in. After that, you can go any higher, as high as you want, to try to break records and what have you. But I'm working more on sumo, a little wider stance.
Right.
You have to have really strong quads and to be able to go down. But I'm finding that a lot easier for me.
Wouldn't you, if you had some nice braces on your knees, help you?
It would definitely help me, and everyone tells me that. But
Yeah.
I'm not doing braces. I'm strengthening my
Nice.
knees,
That's
strengthening
good.
my legs, so I
That's
can
why
do
you
it
win it.
natural.
There
That's
you
right.
go. And that's why you win it.
That's
Now,
right.
your coaches trying to jump that, or they say you do what you want?
No, my trainer in New Hampshire, he says, we'll strengthen them. I don't believe in the wraps. I don't believe in the braces. I don't believe in the belts. He says, let's just strengthen your knees. Let's strengthen your elbows. Let's strengthen everything.
All right, so to practice for that, is that all you do to go up and down, or do you have a
What I
whole
do
regimen?
Yes, we do air squats. We do split squats. Air squats basically is this motion that I just did
Yep.
with no weight on my shoulder, no bar at all.
Right.
And then split squats, jump squats, and then we go to the bar. And the bar, I've been practicing at 135 pounds, which it pushes me to go lower. And
Right,
the more
right.
weight you put on your shoulder,
Yeah.
you're going to go lower, and then you have to make sure you get back up.
That's right. Now, I would think that the strain on your knees, just doing that without weights, there's a lot of strain on your knees.
There is, but we work my knees a lot. We do a lot of leg workouts.
Never had problems with your knees in your life?
Never.
Wow.
My father had both knee replacements. My mother had one. So
Yeah.
hereditary, I should have, but I don't.
Do you take certain vitamins at all?
None.
None, no vitamins.
No vitamins.
Uh,
I'm not on any medication at all for anything.
So you take nothing for strength, dietary, or a good diet.
It's good diet and a lot of protein shakes.
A lot of protein shake with protein.
Not a lot, but
But
probably once a
protein.
day. Once a
All
day.
right, to give you that protein.
Yeah,
A lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits.
We got a lot of
Just to-
vegetables and fruits. Yep.
Do you run much?
I don't. I have a treadmill that I work
Right.
with, but I don't run outside because
Right.
I'm afraid it'll hurt my knees if I run.
Right, you probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
It would a couple of miles a day, a mile a day, whatever.
Mile a
just
day.
Mile a day.
Yeah.
And when you say stamina, the running's the stamina for the stamina? I'm trying to understand. As you're doing these things, are you getting exhausted? Do you get really exhausted as you're lifting?
Not
or-
really.
No?
No,
So
I don't.
It's more or less pure strength. Pure strength.
We work on the core a lot.
The core.
The core is so important in anything you do.
Golf and Tae Kwon Do,
Everything,
that's right.
everything.
Yeah.
So we try to work on core all the time.
Right, okay.
He wants me to stretch every night, so I do stretch every night.
Right.
And we don't stretch before a workout.
No.
No,
You-
when he comes over at 5 in the morning, we're ready to go.
And right off the bat, well, you warm up a little.
Warm up a little,
Right.
jumping jacks, lateral raises,
Okay.
and then push-ups.
Right.
And then after that, we go into whatever we're going to do, either legs,
Right.
chest, shoulders, tris, core cardio.
Now,
back and
is
buys.
that just like a lot of lifting or
Correct.
any machinery, or is it just the dead weight?
It's a lot of it's dead weight.
The
I
dead
have
weight.
one machine that we use a little bit, but basically dead weight.
Right. Do you do a lot of other machines for your legs at all? You know those machines they have?
Yes, I have a machine that I do leg extensions.
Right.
But basically, I'm just putting weights on my shoulder or lifting weights
Right.
in my hand.
All right, so what happens is the competition. So you're here, you do your first squat.
Mm-hmm.
Then you say, you tell them how much you want put on, or you know what the record or what you have to do to beat?
The very first one, I tell them days ahead of time, or even that morning.
Okay.
I want to start at let's say 225.
Right.
Once I get my 225 in, you have to go to the desk and tell them what your next lift is going to be.
Okay.
And that's how well you feel and how well they're judging.
Right. Okay.
Because you want to find out how they're judging. Because I've had international referees. I've had just American referees. They judged a little differently. So I just want to make sure. The first one in, go to the desk, tell me my next lift, get that one in, then my third lift.
And how do you know how much you're going to need for your competition? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I always want to get the first one in, so I go light on all 3 events, squat, bench, and deadlift.
Light.
Light, something that I know I definitely can do.
Okay, all right.
And then after that, I go with the sky's the limit.
Right.
I check and see what the records are, and I beat my own American record, 2 months ago in Vermont, and I held the one last year at 341.7 in the deadlift, and this year I did 345, and I beat my own record.
Now, is that age and weight?
Age and weight.
Age and weight. And what weight category?
198.
We're at 198. And that, what would, so they have super heavy, then they have heavy.
They have plus 198, and I don't compete against the plus 198 because
Okay.
that could be up to 240.
Right.
And just for the fact, the sheer fact that they're bigger.
Right. That's
They-
just
they-
like
they-
any martial arts.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to lift a lot more
Right.
than I am.
So what we used to do when I would train to fight, if I was on the heavy end, all right, so I would be, say if I was 160, the 160s, they'd be that tall because, they'd be at the top of their weight.
Right.
So I always went down the weight so that I didn't have to compete, and you're doing the same thing.
I'm doing the same thing,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you're at the top of yours.
I'm at the top of mine.
You're at the top of yours.
Right.
Boy, that's pretty cool. Now, you got to really kind of watch your diet so you don't go over and you stay.
When I was in Vermont 2 months ago, I weighed in at 200, and that didn't work. So he said, you need to go into the sauna fully clothed
God.
and be in there for a half hour and drop the weight.
Oh,
and I
water.
certainly did.
You did, but it's torture.
That's torture.
I
And I
know.
know better than that.
Yeah.
I just need to, and right now, as of this morning, I'm 199.
Right.
So I'm fine.
Yeah. So and I was the same way. I'd say I'm going down, and at one point I went down 6 pounds lighter than I really had to be because I wasn't playing the game because I've gone through that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than getting on the scale going, oh no.
no.
You got to torture yourself for the next 2 hours.
You do.
And then that weakens you. Or I always felt it's in my mind.
No, it definitely we can be.
And we would have to go running. My instructor would say, go run a mile, 2 miles. You'll burn some calories, and then whatever. Because we didn't have a sauna at the gym, so,
Right.
you know.
And so you're trying to compete, and you've just lost a lot of your energy. It's tough.
All right, now question, because that's your number one, what do you call it, deadlift?
Okay.
No,
No, this was a squat.
The
Squat is the
okay.
first one.
All right, that's a squat.
And then the second one is bench press,
All right, we won't do the bench press here.
because we have no bench.
We have no bench, but we can go over so say you're standing up here, and it's, they drop it down here.
What happens is you can have anybody in the audience or even one of the referees or one of the other players.
Right.
They'll lift it off the bar for you, and then you say yes. You got control of it.
Okay.
You put it down. It rests on your chest until they say up or push or whatever they say. So you don't bounce it off your chest. You leave it here.
God,
And it seems
okay.
like an eternity, and then you push it up, and then they'll tell you to rack it, and then you rack it.
You have to rack it yourself.
They help you. They help you
rack
rack it, but you
But it's
can't.
just that one shot.
Yeah, and they sometimes will take it away from you if they see you're struggling, but if you're still going in the forward motion of
Right,
going
right,
up,
right, yeah.
they're not going to take it away from you.
Okay.
But if you start going up and you start teetering
Right, they don't
backwards,
want you to-
they'll take it away because they don't want anyone to get hurt.
Right.
Right.
Now, how do you do in that event? Is
That's my weakest event.
right, okay.
That's my weakest event. I'll do 200, 210.
Okay.
But that's, I need to work on that.
You're going to work on that, and that's just, and what I say is, when you're working on it, to get to the weight that you want, is it a lot of maybe light reps to build the muscle?
Correct.
All right, so you're doing a lot of light reps,
Yeah.
but then you're practicing for the heavy rep.
Right, exactly. And my trainer will let, like days before the event, not the day before, but like 5 days before, then we'll do the heavyweights.
Right.
To see where I'm at.
Right.
So then I can let them know what my openers are going to be in all
Right.
three disciplines.
All right, what's the next event? The
last
third?
one is deadlift. And deadlift is, I'm trying to do more sumo, but basically you have it's just weight off the ground and you lift it up.
Right.
So, and you go over and under so the bar doesn't
Right.
bend on you. You look up, so you're using your legs and then your back, and you have to have full control of the weight. Your shoulders back, your knees locked. That is a deadlift that counts. And I started at 305 in Vermont. My first lift was easy. My second one, I went to 3 1/4. That I struggled a little bit, but it came up fine. And then my third one was 345, and that was super easy. I don't know. I think the adrenaline, where I was doing really, really well,
Right,
but
right.
345 seemed real easy.
From 3 1/4.
From 3 1/4, it just seemed easy. I'm trying more sumo. I'm trying to go a little wider, but I'm just having difficulty with the form. So basically, I'm keeping it shoulder width because over and under, and the bar needs to basically stay against
Right,
your
again, yeah.
legs.
They got to be in the same spot over and over.
Yeah.
That seems, and no back brace.
None.
That seems like a tremendous amount of.
If you're using your back, then you're doing it wrong.
Right, so you're not. So as you're going down,
So you go down,
Yeah.
and then you look up,
and your back just stays permanently in that straight position.
and then you straighten
you
out.
never-
So you're using your legs. That's
Only using your legs.
use your legs, and then you straighten up.
Have you hurt your back at all doing it?
No,
Never ever.
No,
So
but-
you've got a unique body because I can, you know,
because I'm trained to do it correctly.
Right.
And so if he sees me in when I practice at home, he'll say, "Put the weight down. You're using your back. Come on, you know better than that. At your age, you have to be careful because when you get 72, if you hurt yourself, you're probably not going to do it again."
Right. Actually, I almost said with your back. I mean, in my early 30s, late 20s, I was doing so much crazy stuff in martial arts. I had back problems, and they lasted and I just kept training, but my back hurt. Sciatic problems and stuff until I hit a good chiropractor, Brian Arsenault, and God rest his soul, he died in Pelham. He put me back in 2 weeks, and I had a problem for years.
Wow.
In 2 weeks, it was going, don't worry, bop, 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 bop. I watched that back like I'd never watched anything. And when it starts tweaking, you know what I do a lot? I hang.
Yep.
I hang so that my body is straight and it pops from the So, what kind of injuries have you had?
About 3 years ago, I was in Portland, Maine, and I was doing a deadlift, and my hamstring let go. And it was amazing that the spotters. I mean, I started to go down with the weight in my hand, and they grabbed that weight before it landed on the ground. They're amazing.
Because you would have really probably did.
And then they helped me to the chair. I still won that competition because I got my first one in. Obviously, I didn't get my second attempt in, but I still won. My leg swelled. It was a terrible.
A tear? You had a tear?
It was a sprain.
A sprain.
And
because they take forever to heal.
It was painful. My foot swelled up, and I thought I was having some serious problems. They said this is all part of it.
Right.
Black and blue.
Wow.
I got over that, and I have no idea why. It was very cold in the gym during the competition. I drank a lot of fluids, which is important in anything you do.
Yeah, sure.
And since then, no problems.
Well, your trainers, you do have good trainers. You mentioned something about the trainer in Hawaii.
Yes, he used to play in the NFL.
Imagine.
He used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs, JoJo Dixon.
Wow.
Amazing man. He's been my trainer there for 6 years.
Would he stay there for a couple of months or a
I
year?
stayed there for a couple of months, and he could care less if I'm 72 or 22.
Good.
He pushes me.
Yeah, but see, I'm going to tell you something, Wayne. 67, 72. It's in your mind.
Yeah.
Your age is right up here. Your body's constantly getting tired. It was getting tired when I was in my 20s. You see kids walking around in their 20s and 30s. Oh, I'm tired. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. 72 years old, and you just want to keep going. How long do you think you're going to do this?
Probably compete till I'm 80.
Imagine.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't
for
that
sure,
the coolest?
for sure.
You're going to be back on this show a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne's going to do a podcast with me. We have a podcast right after here. The USTS, the Ultimate Sports Training Show, on Spotify. So if you can catch that, we're going to talk about his life and fight with cancer.
Correct.
And now, what were you doing before say the cancer, before you even started lifting weights? Golfing?
Golfing, playing some tennis.
Tennis?
Never been into a gym in my life.
Yep.
And now the gym is my life.
That's wow. Imagine. And you started at what, like, how old were you, 62?
I started going in the gym when I'm 72, so it's been 8 years that I've been in a gym now. So, when I was 64.
Yep. And you never went before that.
Never went to the gym before.
Isn't that crazy? Wow.
Jim was the first name.
But did you have weights at home and stuff that you
No.
always show. You just never did
Never
the
did
weights.
it.
Isn't that's just phenomenal? That's phenomenal.
No, any gym I go into, they know who I am.
Of course.
Which is crazy.
Oh,
It just-
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
can only imagine. And you were in the Ukraine.
I was in Ukraine in 2019. I made the U.S. team, which was just a thrill to make the U.S.
Yeah,
team.
must
We
have.
went to Ukraine,
Yeah.
beautiful country. Obviously, things
Yeah.
have changed since
What
then.
you're
which is
seeing
a
now
shame.
must break your
Oh,
heart.
it's awful. I still have friends over there. They contact me. It is sad. But
Oh, yeah.
Ukraine, I did very well. There were 7 of us that made the U.S. team. We won 40 medals. I won 5 gold, a silver, and a bronze.
Imagine.
And on the podium with the American flag behind you,
Yeah, nothing like it.
playing the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than
It
that.
doesn't get much better than that. Well, there's the rush. There's the rush.
That's the rush.
It's addictive.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
an
it sure is.
addictive rush, and just for that quick adulation, and you just feel so good about yourself. And it's not easy. You can't do it unless you train like a crazy
You
man.
have to train hard.
You
and,
got to train like a madman and have focus. Now, as you're doing any of these exercises, is he watching your eyes and he's watching your focus, your trainer?
Yeah.
What are they? You cannot look around, and they want you to just
Focus on what you're doing.
right.
Don't think about anything else.
Don't look around. You don't even see the crowd. You don't hear or see the
Oh,
crowd.
in competition, no, I look beyond the crowd.
Right.
I have to.
Yeah.
I just have to concentrate on why I'm there and what I'm doing, look above the crowd, and just do it. That's it.
Yeah, it's amazing, but it's still because you probably had times where you get distracted in the beginning. So in the beginning, you're trying to fix all these little problems,
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's like, all right, that ain't gonna happen again.
No.
And your coaches are watching you. Are these coaches that you have they been in competition themselves?
No, my trainer back in New Hampshire, he went to college to be a personal trainer. He has one client, me, and he decided to go into construction. So either that's a dig to me or the fact that he concentrates on me only. So
Don't get any better, he says. It's not going to get any better than
it's
this.
funny. And,
That's wild.
And my trainer, of course, in Maui, he's a professional athlete, being in the NFL
Right.
for so many years.
And they've,
yeah, he's just an incredible beast of a man.
That's
and,
wild.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. It's wonderful. I've got great people in my corner.
You have to, because you can't, a lot of people say, I can do it myself. You can try to do it yourself, and maybe if you get lucky, and but I don't think so.
No.
You've especially because you're going to hurt yourself with that type of weight, and you better have. Now, when you're practicing your gym alone, are you? You're not going heavy weight.
When I practice in my gym alone, I don't do squats and I don't do bench press. I just do deadlift,
Okay.
but I do dumbbell bench press. So just the dumbbells, they're isolated,
Okay.
so then it won't land on my.
Right,
and
yeah.
I won't
Right.
kill myself.
'Cause you can be-
So then I can just drop the weights.
Okay.
And the squats I don't do, but air squats or split squats or jump squats, because I don't want to have weight on my shoulder, miss the squat rack,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
I'm done.
You're gonna get
because I'm alone.
You have to have, and so when you have your trainer, is he with someone else so that they can help you with the
No, my trainer is there.
with someone else? Or?
No, just him.
All right. So as you're doing this, what if all of a sudden you started to fall?
He'll grab it from me.
Oh, he's that? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
he's a brute.
That's so beautiful.
He's a brute.
And the thing is, I mean, if I was talking to a 25 or 35-year-old guy or kid or whatever, think about it. You're an inspiration to people watching, going, "What?" You
can start it at any age.
at any age.
Any age.
Yeah.
Any age.
And then you're going to go to 80, and it's only going to keep you younger and younger and younger. And when you're not doing that, you're out golfing.
I'm out golfing
You're out
or
golfing.
playing tennis.
Or playing tennis. So
Yes.
your body is constantly in state of motion.
Oh, yeah.
And if you keep the motion going, you want to keep going.
Sure.
But that's why I'm really surprised no vitamins, but you better have a good diet.
I have a good diet.
You have to have,
I have
it
a
in
good
protein
diet.
and
Yeah.
any reason why no vitamins? You just don't believe in the vitamin system, or that you
A
need?
lot of it you just drain through your body.
Yeah, I know a lot of it does. Yeah.
Very little of it
Right.
stays with you. But
Right.
I eat healthy.
Yeah.
I eat the right calories. I
Right.
watch the calories.
Right.
And
How much water a day do you drink?
Wow.
A Lots.
Lots.
Of water. Yeah.
That's all I drink at work and at home, water.
That's my problem a lot. Well, I drink a lot of juices also. I like the V8 juices and stuff, and even though people say either sugar or salt, it don't matter to me. It's not going to bother me.
Right.
And I'm going to get some more nutrients because I always constantly, I overdo the vitamins. That's my problem. I'm an overkill in everything. But even like a guy like yourself, you're kind of an overkill because you want that win. You want to win.
You want to win.
So the only way to do that is every day, or that constant repetition of the right moves. And are you constantly trying to go higher on weight, or there's got to be a limit where you can? There's no way you can get higher than that.
Well, right now my goal this year is 400 in the deadlift, and 400 would be a really good.
What's your record?
My personal best is 375. My competition best is 345.
25 more pounds from the.
Well,
from your
it sounds easy. It's
no, easy. It don't sound easy. I'm lucky.
I really think that in September I'll be able to do 400. I'm going to push myself.
Wow.
And
you don't have to gain more weight.
No, I'm staying in my same weight category of 198.
Wow.
That's it.
That's just phenomenal. Wayne, that's all the time we have today. I'm going to grab you back on this show, especially as a couple of years go by, a couple more gold medals, a couple more championships. Boy, it'd be nice to really get you watching you do some real weights. So
sure.
That could be something we can work on down the road.
Well, I'll bring the weights with me.
Oh, wow, that'd be great. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, have fun and train hard.